This episode of the What's Happening Delco podcast is sponsored by Delco Meets for Business. Check us out on Meetup at Delco Meets, the number 4 business, and attend one of our incredible networking events. Be sure to register, and we'll see you there. What's happening, Delco? I'm Rich Shane, and welcome to the What's Happening Delco podcast. Today I'm joined by Lynne Williams, who wears 2 hats. Lynne, welcome to the podcast.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Delighted to be here today.
Lynne, you wear 2 hats. What are those 2 hats that you wear?
Well, I run 2 businesses. One business is a for-profit and the other business is a nonprofit. So for the for-profit, it's Career News Today, LLC. And I write resumes, LinkedIn profiles, and focus on keywords as a career coach. I'm very niche-y, and that's what I've been doing for over a decade. The other business that I run as executive director of a 501c3 nonprofit, it is called Great Careers Network. The official filing of the 501c3 is Philadelphia Area Great Careers Group, but we DBA as Great Careers Network.
That is a lot of things that you do. So the passion as a career coach, helping people, how did that start for you? Where does that come from?
It comes from being a job seeker, believe it or not. When I was a job seeker for a W-2 job over a decade ago, I was having troubles trying to get interviews, and I realized that my resume was not formatted properly. I didn't know what I was doing on LinkedIn. And so I started going to lots of networking and learning meetings. And so I heard so many different subject matter expert speakers and kind of put 2 and 2 together. And then I did finally land my job. And then I realized, and believe it or not, it was in real estate. And believe it or not, I realized that I was not going to climb any ladders there. And so it was time to spread the wings and jump off the proverbial entrepreneurial cliff and fly. So that's what I did. And I just fell in love with the career services industry when I was looking for a job. And then I got involved with score.org, and I've been with Chester and Delaware County SCORE, which is now rebranded as Delaware Valley SCORE. And I've been on their speakers bureau since 2013. So basically, I'm teaching job seekers, entrepreneurs, and people who are employed professionals a bunch of different career topics and tips for their LinkedIn, personal branding, resumes, etc.
For those that are career seekers, changing a job, looking for a job, you talked about tips. What are a couple of tips that you can give the listener right now to help them to stand out, or just some things that you see day to day that this is some things people should know?
So the first thing is so basic. It's like change your LinkedIn URL and make it custom and take off all the gobbledygook of letters and numbers after your last name. So that's what everybody needs to do. The second thing is, do not have the city where you live or work. You should have greater Philadelphia area, because you're pegging yourself in a little hole of a city and you're not going to be getting reach outside of that city. You also want to be commenting on LinkedIn daily and on at least, 5 posts or more with some thought leadership, not 2 words like, great event or worth reading or interesting article, but do like 15, 18 words or more. Maybe ask the poster a question to clarify something or add on some information that they maybe don't have that's missing. So it's like if I went to read that particular answer, am I wasting my time, or am I getting value out of reading your thought leadership on top of the poster's thought leadership? Um, so you want to be commenting. Commenting actually is king, and then you want to post at least 1 to 3 times a week. But commenting should be at least, on 5 posts a day if you can, because there's visibility, credibility, and discoverability if you do that.
Lynne, you just provided huge, major golden nuggets, and I'm just grateful for that. What can people expect when they work with you?
Well, if they work with me individually, I do one-on-one collaborative work. I used to teach gifted and talented and special education and everything in between as a teacher, and I love the individualized approach. So I teach people not doing done for yous, I do done with yous, because I think you need to drive the stick shift of your own personal brand. And so if you don't know how to do it, then you won't know how to do it if you're not taught. So I go back and forth on Zoom. It's like a tennis game. I do, you do, I do, you do. But if they come to the Great Careers Network, we have small group meetings, which are interactive. They're not webinars. And we have subject matter expert speakers to learn, but you always have an opportunity to introduce yourself for making networking connections with others that are on the call. And you get a chance to ask the subject matter expert speaker questions because, it is a small group.
We've talked a lot about one of your hats. Expand a little bit more on your nonprofit and the hat that you wear there, and how you're able to help people.
So we've been on Meetup since 2010, and I took over the organization in 2015. Until about a month ago, we had over 8,500 members on our Meetup. Now we have 7,700, and the only thing I can think of is that Meetup cleaned up people who were inactive. So we've had 6,500 plus events that we've run, and we've had over 48,000 RSVPs since we've begun. So we've touched a lot of lives. And before the pandemic, we used to run 1,000 events a year in person in Delco, Bucksco, Philadelphia, Montco, and Chesco. And then when the pandemic hit, we went more or less virtual. And it's probably a good thing with the cost of gas prices these days, right? So, people still need to meet people, in person. But, I like having the ability to have a combo of in-person and Zoom events because, it takes time to drive. And sometimes the events, there's tolls involved, right? So I like the combo of meeting and learning both online and in person.
What are some of these online events or in-person events that people can look forward to?
So we have events that are just for job seekers. And then we also have events that are more entrepreneurial related. And then events that are for career management, more for people who are employed. So as a nonprofit, it's all about career education. And so we have different audiences that come to hear tips. So for example, if there was a LinkedIn workshop, it could be for anybody to come. If it was a job seeker, interview prep workshop, obviously that would be for the people who are job seekers. If we had an event that was through SCORE that we co-promoted and advertised on how to analyze your headlines for emails, LinkedIn profiles, blogs, events, that would be more entrepreneurial related than it would be for a job seeker. So we have a little bit of everything for everybody to help them in their career.
I'll tell you what, you provide people with a path. You help them. And that's inspiring to me. Who inspires you, Lynn? Who motivates you?
Oh, well, I feel I'm pretty self-motivated. I've kind of gone through lot of things in my life, including losing my house and everything I own to fire. And it's about resilience, and it's, about starting again and raising my kids from 1.5 and 3 years old to now 35 and 36 as a single parent. I've always had to be pretty much self-motivated. Um, I've been working since I was 11 years old, believe it or not. I planted, picked, and sold fruits and vegetables in New Jersey when we lived there. And I worked on that farm for 4 years until I was 14. And then we wound up moving to Pennsylvania. And so I've always had a very high work ethic. I love working. I love working with people. And, I constantly love learning. So I believe everyone should be a lifelong learner and keep learning and sharpening their saw, so to speak, and learning new skills.
Work. It's not a bad four-letter word, is it, Lynn?
It's not.
So, being a lifelong learner, what are you learning now? What are you learning for you?
I just completed last Thursday a 4-week micro credential course on future forward career paths. And of course, we talked a lot about AI, but also AI is not a strategy, it's a tool. And how can it help us and augment what it is that we do? Um, but you're never going to lose the human, that's involved in it. Um, so it helps streamline businesses, but there's a lot of people that are also against AI because of all the data centers and the energy and the water and whatnot. So, you have to balance, um, you know, are you using it yet you're against the data centers? Like, a little bit of an oxymoron there. I don't know. Um, but you have to balance what works for you, and you do you. If you want to use it, use it. If you don't want to use it, don't use it.
I think that's true about life, Lynn. I mean, if it works for you, then incorporate it. If it doesn't, either it, as a strategy or as a tool, figure out how it can be implemented or find another toolbox or tool basket. You know what I'm saying? How do people connect with you, Lynn? How do they get a hold of you to start their journey working with you?
Well, I would say the best place to reach out to me is on LinkedIn. I have, I don't know, currently almost 27,000 connections. So I've been pretty heavily involved in networking, especially locally. Um, so on my LinkedIn profile, right underneath my headline, you'll see a little section that says more gobsmacking resources. Well, if you go to more gobsmacking resources, that will take you to greatcareers.org, which is the nonprofit. It'll take you to my career readiness camp for teens, which I'm doing for the summer of 2026. It'll take you to my upcoming speaking events. And I speak, across the country, even for SCORE Silicon Valley. Next month, I think I'm speaking for SCORE Indianapolis. I've spoken for SCORE Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Jacksonville, Florida, etc. Um, Also, under the more gobsmacking resources, you'll see my publications. So I write for Vista.today, Delco.today, Bucksco.today, Montco.today, and Philadelphia.today. And I've written over 350 articles over the past 7.5 years. So most of my articles are on career topics like resumes, LinkedIn, networking, personal branding, etc. And that can again appeal to job seekers, people who are employed, and people who are self-employed. So it's all career education related to help you advance in your career, help you land a job, help you land clients, etc.
Lynn, with all that publication, with all the writing you've done, what's the name of your book?
Oh, I haven't written the book yet. I started working on my doctoral dissertation and I got 3 chapters written. And unfortunately, I don't know how to find the time to finish the doctoral dissertation. I just so busy. I have 3 grandsons right now. And aside from writing for those 5 publications, I think I have around 90, I don't know, 9,500 or so people that subscribe to my LinkedIn newsletter. I have almost 5,300 people that subscribe to my Substack. So I'm writing about 3 articles a week, and they're all different. So yeah, it just keeps me busy. Speaking and writing is kind of my jam.
Well, you're out and about in Delco, and the grandkids call and they say, bring us home some cheesesteaks. Where are you going for your cheesesteak?
Oh, they're little, so they're not quite into the cheesesteak scene quite yet. But I hang out a lot in Newtown Square. I like breakfast, so I'm kind of a fangirl of the Turning Point, because I don't have that. It's not real close, in other parts, in other counties that I visit. So I like the Turning Point. I like their little twist on things.
You've satisfied breakfast. You've gone to the Turning Point. Where are you going for your pizza in Delco?
Oh, where am I going for my pizza? That's a really good question. What do you recommend?
Well, if you listen to all 206 previous episode of the What's Happening Delco podcast, you'll hear amazing recommendations for pizza. So I didn't know if you had a go-to for family or just when you want to go out and have a slice.
Um, I eat pizza, but I'm more of a salad girl. I like salad and protein. I'll eat pizza every once in a while. So, if I get some recommendations on where to go for pizza in Delco, hey, I'm all about it. I will try it out.
Taff, taff. Taff, taff. Taff, taff. Taff treats. Get some.
This portion of the What's Happening Delco podcast is brought to us by Taft Treats. That's TAFFtreats.com. They make some amazing freeze-dried delicacies, and now they offer soft-served ice cream. And what they want to know, Lynn, is when you get your pizza, what do you like as toppings on your pizza?
I'm just a straight pepperoni girl.
Straight pepperoni.
Yep, that's it.
You're out and about in Delco and you have a convenience store need. Where are you stopping? Wawa or Royal Farms?
Oh, absolutely Wawa. I am absolutely a Wawa girl, for sure.
Lynn, how do you describe Delco to someone who's not heard of Delco before or has never been here?
Wow. How do I describe it? Um, it is a place you gotta go visit because there's nothing like Delco.
You have friends or family coming in from out of town and you want to give them to or take them to that Delco experience. Where are you sending them or where are you taking them?
Well, if it was this past week, it'd be, the PGA tournament, right? Um, again, I hang out a lot in Newtown Square. So, there's I don't know, what is it that I don't know what the main area is called. The Willis
Ellis
oh my
Preserve.
Ellis, thank you.
You're
Ellis
welcome.
Preserve. Ellis Preserve area has so many offerings for food, and that's probably where I go the most.
Seeing that the PGA was just in town and you're sending your friends or family members there, or you're taking them there, who's footing the bill for parking?
Oh, interesting. Well, my daughter went yesterday and she parked at a friend's house, and She had about a mile to walk before she got to the entrance. But they had amazing transportation system set up for the event with buses from here, there, and everywhere. When she got done with the PGA, her feet were just toast. She walked 7.5 miles, and there was an Uber there, and she said, "I need a ride for a mile." He said $20. She said sold. So that was a good deal for that Uber driver.
You know, as a side note, with all of the impact and the traffic and the people and everybody we had in our community, I just want to give a quick shout out to Newtown Square, Marple Newtown, all of the communities, all of the leaders, all of the business owners that really, from my opinion, it really looks seamless. And while there's a lot of people coming to our community, it really seemed to be that there was not a lot of imposition. It was just so well done. And it really shows you how, people come together and we can host a world-class experience like this right here in our backyard at Delco. So thanks
Absolutely.
to all, thanks to everybody, even that Uber driver, whoever that was.
Yeah, my college roommate, my first and second year, she was from Ridley Park. So she went to Marple Newtown. How about that?
Lynne, is there anything we haven't talked about, anything you want to share with the listeners more about you, more about your plethora of hats?
Well, connect with me on LinkedIn. Again, linkedin.com/in/Lynne Williams. And it's Lynne with an E for education. So if you want to come learn with me and the subject matter experts, either individually or at the nonprofit greatcareers.org, reach out and at least explore the website. We have a lot of amazing things going on and help an awful lot of people. As I said, we've had over 48,000 RSVPs since we've started, and that's just the meetup. Not everybody's on meetup. We've had even more than that because of the website. So come check us out.
Lynne with an E, thanks so much for all you do to help improve people's lives, to make us better. And as I said, you've imparted wisdom to me, so I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that you're a friend of What's Happening Delco and being a part of the What's Happening Delco podcast. We can't wait to see you out and about. I'll just look to see which hat you have on that day.
All right. And I just want to let you know that under your LinkedIn group post, or I think it's the group post, or maybe it's the company page post for the last Delco Meets for Business in Broomall, I did include a link on a networking article that was published in Delco.today. And I did give the group a shout out.
You're the best, Lynne. Thank you so much for that.
All right.
The Taft Traits jingle was written, directed, and recorded by Vincent James of Keep Music Alive. Visit keepmusicalive.org to check out their mission, their events, and how you can get involved. Hey, it's Rich. Thank you so much for being a listener to the What's Happening Delco podcast. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to learn more about the people and businesses in our community. I've been a real estate agent for over 25 years, working with first-time home buyers to last-time home sellers. As a listener of the podcast, my gift to you is a complimentary 1-year American Home Shield home warranty. This is for buyers and sellers that I help. If you're looking to move anywhere in the United States, I have you covered with an amazing network of real estate agents. I look forward to hearing from you. My direct line is 215-313-3777, or you can email me at rshaneremax@comcast.net. Oh, by the way, I am never too busy for any of your referrals.